mash up. If they come in to take way off, whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, give me 1 minute extra, just a minute extra. Want to show the papers on the colors and the texture. Let me push my hand up like the gases from a Vespa. Everybody let me see you. Tell them leave me on the stage, on the stage, on the stage. Let them leave me on the stage, on the stage, on the stage. Yeah, this whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, the whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, hey, after all of that money that I don't save myself, 1 more minute on station, misbehave myself. The truck ain't ready yet, let me parade myself. A few more seconds isn't illegal. Give me 1 minute extra, just a minute extra. Let the papers.
Oh, yes. Good evening, good evening, good evening. When you come in, share it up, like, subscribe, everything, so that we can now get our yes, good evening, Daniela. Good evening to all in our blessed country of all Trinidad and Tobago. And welcome, 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 welcome all. Yes, put the camera a little more this way. Right, good. So, we have been seeing a number of things happening, and there are some people who are not too proud about many of the changes that may be coming and what might be move away from the colonialism. But let me look at something tonight. We are going to be turning another sword in our history of Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to be turning another year in our history in Trinidad and Tobago. And believe it or not, as a young nation, we have a lot to be thankful for on this blessed day that we're going to be celebrating tomorrow called Independence Day. Now, there are those who don't want to move away from it. They still live in this bubble. But look at what we have in our country compared to other countries throughout the Caribbean, Latin America. Look at what we have and look at what we are blessed with. That many of these other countries will envy us. Look at what we have. Look at with what we have achieved from since 1962. And I will have a special, because we're leading up to Republic Day, but I will have a special that I'll be focusing on this. Because I want people to understand how did we come to independence, the documents, the when they went to England, how did this whole thing evolve? Now we see one part, but we didn't see the full story, and you'll see that story. Who led that charge and gave the government and the prime minister the mandate to go ahead? I bet you I didn't realize that. But who would have given that charge and the mandate to the prime minister, Dr. Eric Williams, at that point in time in 1961, to go ahead, carry this thing to Parliament, and let me get the business of independence going? So we're going to see a series on that. We have a special guest who will be joining us very soon to deal with that part of it, because we want to look at all the fine points that led to our independence of Trinidad and Tobago. But I want to talk about something tonight. Now, for many years, people have been bashing and still continuing to bash our healthcare system. They bash our education system. They bash until they don't know what to bash, but they know just to bash anything and everything that they believe is not good. But where in the world, and let me just step back a little bit. I have watched that things have happened throughout the Caribbean. And healthcare in those many of the Caribbean islands is not of standard. In fact, they have low standard, very low standard. But we in Trinidad and Tobago have a better healthcare system than many of the Caribbean islands. And when you look at what has been taking place, I don't know what that just went one day, but when you look at what has been taking place, many of the people, I do think that probably the Prime Minister is making a speech or something tonight. But many of the people who cannot even access healthcare services in their own country, in their islands, come to Trinidad and benefit. This is the only Caribbean island in this whole Western Hemisphere that you could go to the healthcare system, whether it's Grenadian, Barbadian, Chinese, Finsi, you name it. This is the only country, twin island state, that you could come and get free healthcare 24/7. This is the only country that you don't have to pay for 5 and 6 doctors standing around you in casualty, checking you out in our public hospitals. This is the only country where you could go and land and nobody need asking you for an insurance card in the public hospitals. This is the only way getting the medication for this, the medication for that, the medication for, and this has nothing to do only with just because of PNM and UNC, because this thing is real. Because we love to say Trinidad is not a real place, but it is real. That you could benefit of a free healthcare system regardless of where you're from. So when I hear my fellow Trinidadians and Tobagonians bad talking our healthcare system because they don't wait no 8 and 9 hours. It all depends on the circumstances, and they will tell you to go in a health center before you come to the hospital. But this is the only country that you could benefit from these things. So tomorrow is so important. Regardless of what's happening, tomorrow is so important into the lives and history of our young people to be proud that we have done something that many other islands and people around the world is watching and trying to copy what we have. Trinidad don't shut the doors on nobody. We have an open door policy. Once you come to do positivity, sometimes we have to take the bull by the horn and work in our communities to develop that level of trust and confidence, especially when we're doing community work. This thing that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, we are real. This is the only country that you can wake up in the morning, still go by neighbor, get something to eat, something to drink, still get something for your children, because we are sharing and are giving people. So when we go and we celebrate tomorrow, not just putting on the red, white, and black, but the red, white, and black in our hearts. Because anybody can put on their clothes and go down the road and they don't give a rat's. But when we put on that red, white, and black tomorrow, and we stand proud as a nation, a twin island state, embracing each other, we can really boast of a unifying state more than many other islands and even on the continent. This is our land. This is what we have. And if we have to offer things to you, we must do it so with a sincere heart. And while I hear many people talking about this and that and they bad talking Trinidad and Tobago, but let anything happen, it's right here they're coming back. Right here they say, oh God, I can't take it away. It's too cold. I want to come back to Trinidad. Things too hard. I want to come back to Trinidad. Because job wise, you can leave any pizza establishment on one side and go to the next one, next one, next one, and still a walk. How ungrateful we are to be cussing what we have. Hmm. I really said to myself, there's so much things happening. So much things happening. Even tomorrow, plan on the move. There's so much things happening. I am being told that that the the annual conference in Carney is taking place. Um, and I think that Foster Cummins, the Honorable Foster Cummins, is started to give the speech on the PNM um, annual constituency conference in Carney. So that is happening tonight also, and we are hearing that candidates are being screened for elections. So that's another thing. Candidates are being screened for election for various constituencies, and things are looking good. So I don't want to. I will try my best to see if we can get the annual conference of Carney to be broadcast here, and let me see if I can get my director to do that. If anybody could wake up that director for me, holidays are over, but Yeah, the holidays are over. Time to get back to work because there's a number of things taking place. And I'm going to address a number of it coming up this week, not just in Dauntless Defenders of Good Governance, but also yeah, but also in ensuring that we get the best candidates to put our day. So let me see if we can get the director to broadcast the annual conference of um, Carney East of the People's National Movement. And yeah, let's see if we can get that done as soon as possible with the Honorable Foster Cummings, giving his speech tonight at that conference. So I want to say hats off. We will be with the broadcasting that live and stay tuned for more on Fine Point as we develop it in more and more. And have a beautiful and productive day tomorrow, which is Happy Independence Day to Trinidad and Tobago. See you all tomorrow. Join you all in the annual conference of